No matter who the enemy is. My young leadership journey, and by the way, I know Roland, just so you know, it wasn't some random guy I picked out. So when I started as a young leader, I started my leadership journey with search and rescue. I was 20, I think. I became president of the group. And it was always about me. I leveraged biases and labels all day long. That's what I did. And the reason I did labels and biases, and the reason we do, is it's called a heuristic. It's a shortcut. It's easy for us to use. All millennials are the same. All Gen X's are the same. All women are the same. All men are the same. All this, that, and the other thing are the same. Cognitively, it's a shortcut for us. We're also fed that in our media. Media use heuristics all the time because they don't have the time and we don't have the attention to go in depth into a situation or a particular demographic. But I remember it was always about me. And it was about completing the mission, for sure, because if we completed the mission, I felt good about it. I didn't care about how it happened. I didn't care about the people, really. You know, I was nice and everything like that, but at the end of the day, I certainly was not terribly concerned about their feelings. It's like, if you like it, great. If you don't, well, too bad, so sad. We're still going to go do this job. And on an incident, sometimes that's okay. But like we talked about administratively during training and all these other things, if you're constantly berating people or you're constantly being directive, that's going to drive a wedge between you and the people. So I recognized over the years as I got older, I didn't get mature because that's open for debate, but I started to really leverage or think about biases where, you know what, I thought that person or, that this group of people would be like this, but they actually, holy smokes, they surprised me. And that happened time and time again, and I was being quite deliberate in the evaluation of it, and I'm like, interesting. They're not all the same. And we run into this issue too where if we wear a uniform, what's the tendency from a leadership perspective if you're talking to people all of the same uniform?
Sir, no sir.
Sir, no sir. How do you treat that particular group?
Different.
You're probably going to treat them the same. And why are you going to treat them the same?
You don't see them as a person, they're a uniform.
Exactly. Yeah, cool. You guys are all firefighters. How many people are actual firefighters? Show of hands. Okay. So, that's good. Well, because you guys wouldn't be awake by now. So kidding. So, there's a tendency to treat everyone the same, but you have to know your raccoons. There's a tendency to treat all females the same, all males the same, all this, that, and the other thing. That's a big problem in our line of work. It really, really is. Because everyone's an individual, and we need to connect with them as individuals first and foremost. So it's really about us. And this is now where we talk about shifting. The team actually, it's my job to support them, not the other way around. Our old school mentality was always, I'm the leader, you support me, you do what I tell you. But in our environment, and I really liked what you said there with regard to in an operational environment, you need a lot of people taking initiative. But if you're a leader-centric organization, they are going to be looking to you for guidance and direction and rewards. Hey, I did good there, right? Yeah, good work. Yeah, good, I got a gold star. But we can't have that in our environment these days. Our environment, even on the search and rescue side, far more complex. So many other variables. And when I look at the pictures going through the presentation yesterday evening of the memoriam and so on and so forth, and I was really humbled by what they ended up doing with what little they had. And then I took that, and fundamentally the mission's the same. We go get people and bring them off a mountain or whatever. But the complexity of now competing for recruitment and retention of volunteers is so difficult to do. Social media, so difficult. We have to tweet now when we're going out on a call or something, or conversely, don't tweet when you're going out on a call. Don't use social media. We need a social media policy and so on and so forth. But there are so many variables, so many complexities to our environment that we have to have a team that we're supporting, and they're not looking to us for every single piece of guidance. Our job is to support the team, not the other way around. And one of the red flag words I hear, and I think I'm oversensitive to it personally, but is when I hear my people. and I get why some people say it, but sometimes they're saying it literally, my people. Like, these are my people. I don't know about that. They're people that you support. They're people you work with, whatever the case is. But that ownership piece is interesting. So the current leadership has to be about us and not about me. And what it means is the behaviors that we probably grew up envisioning, whether it be through our parents or leaders as we were going through the ranks, chances are this is different than what you were exposed to initially. Would you agree? You know, the old school was, I'm the boss and everyone feeds up, right?
Group effort.
Yeah, right. So now it's about leveraging everyone's strengths and not leveraging weaknesses, but protecting them from weaknesses, for example. So that's a really, really important point. So our goal ultimately is to create a safe zone. And that's not a physical safe zone, but like a psychological one, where people are free to make errors to a certain extent. Okay? They're free to express their own opinions. They're free to have healthy conflict. That's really, really important. Because if people are heard, then they respect you. So we're talking about the building and taking away of respect, for example. So I've talked about this model. This is just a complete inversion of what we're talking about. So think about that. If you're in your organization, chances, if you're having some personnel challenges, sometimes it comes down to, are they being heard or not? That could very well be it. And if they have the opportunity to be heard, then maybe that will solve some of the problems, for example. How do we do it? We connect with the individuals and then we lead. This is such an important, simple sentence. We have to connect with people and then we lead. Okay? That's because we want to start to get into that respect rhythm as quickly as we can. Connect with the individuals and then you lead. Not the other way around. You don't lead them and then connect. Because if you're just leading and not connecting, you're going to have position power. You're going to get some results, but you're not going to build like a truly powerful team. Connect and then you lead. Leadership presence. Anyone know what leadership presence is? Can anyone define it?
The people know who the leader is.
Okay, yep. That's part of it.
I think consistency is a big part of it.
Okay, but what is it? What is leadership presence? Consistency is part of it. Yeah, in the back there. Yeah. No, yeah.
I would say like charisma and poise and calm and all those types of qualities that a person possesses.
Okay. So what that does is all of those things, I'm going to use the word aura, I don't mean that, but climate is another way of putting it. Leadership climate. What is the attitude? What is the spirit around the leader? So, yeah.
So when that person arrives, or everybody else is running around like chicken with their heads cut off, that person arrives, you're all of a sudden you have the sense of, okay, we're going to be all right. It's going to be good.
Absolutely.
You can sense it in the air when they come in the room, when they arrive on the scene.
Exactly. And then to turn that around, you get some people that it's calm, and now it's like all hell's going to break loose, right? Chaos. Yep. Yep. Really good examples. Yeah. Yourself?
Leadership presence is probably a lot to do with creating buy-in. Right? Creating buy-in could be very different for you, and you, and it's trying to figure out, knowing a team and creating the buy-in that's different. One person you might have to yell to them and say, get over here, and the other person talk calmly. It's all about creating the buy-in for.
Correct. And that's where that connection part comes in. But if we treat everyone, if we communicate with everybody the same, it will resonate with some, but it won't with others. And so you're not going to have buy-in from them. So if we looked at Darth Vader, what's his leadership presence when he's on? I get he's not real. Okay, this is not an actual. You guys are being polite, and you're saying, well, does he know? Does he know that Darth Vader died? Right. So, what do you think of when you talk about his leadership presence? Fear, right? Uptight, death, negativity, all that stuff. Yeah, Death Star. And then what about Captain Kirk? Unless if you're wearing the red away team thing, you're going to Planet. They did not have TV on the Enterprise, otherwise no one would have volunteered for a Planet trip. So what is Captain Kirk?
You have a beer with him afterwards.
Absolutely, he's a swashbuckler. He's a go-get-him kind of guy, lead by example, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Aren't you talking about charisma?
Charisma is something that would kind of lend itself to a positive leadership climate, but you can also have somebody with a very negative leadership presence. Mm-hmm.
I kind of think of parenting as your job is to make your child independent at some point. And as a team member, my job is to encourage my team to get the best training possible so that the team leaders can have confidence. I don't know about charisma, but if I have confidence in you all, you're more likely to look to me as having that leadership presence. So if you encourage your teammates to be well trained, then the leaders will have confidence in their abilities and be able to support them, not have them support leaders.
You know, and the key point that you made right at the beginning was you see your job to make them independent. But that's a positive leadership presence. It's a positive leadership culture. But some leaders don't see it that way. Would you agree?
Some parents don't.
Some parents. You're right. Yeah. Hey, whoa, you don't even know me and you're judging me. Or am I being defensive, right? But you're exactly right. Exactly. Oh gosh. All right. Here's another key point. How a team interacts and communicates with you is not a reflection on them. It's a reflection on you. It's how you interact with them. They're actually kind of like a mirror. If you're an asshole, guess what? What will happen?
Asshole back.
Right. You're going to get that, or you're going to get nothing back. And you're going to be upset. Why doesn't anyone give me bad news? I don't get it. The team doesn't tell me. They should have told me this. Well, that's because the last time somebody gave you bad news was you either fired them, you yelled at them, you kicked them out, whatever that is. So if you have a positive leadership climate, if you have charisma, if you're communicating well with them, they will open up and they're going to give you all sorts of information. So and this is now where taking ownership is, they are going to be reflective, or a reflection on how you treat them. That's the reality. So get out of your own heads and quit blaming other people. There's a reason why no one comes to you and tells you bad news. There's a reason for all of these things, and it starts with your leadership presence. How a team interacts and communicates with you is not a reflection on them. Time and time again, that's like, well, they should have told me. Well, yeah, they should have. Why didn't they? That's the question. It's not, we agree they should have told you. Why didn't they is the problem. And chances are the reason they didn't is because you have a very poor or negative leadership presence or guidance. Okay?